Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hello and welcome to FFF episode 2671.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's been a fun week, except for if you had to work. Some people took the time off and they decided to go eat jerky. And it's today something to see national. Well, if you're listening to this on the 8th,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
it's National Pediatric Hematology Day. Okay.
Mike's
Yeah, because of the
Daily
people
Podcast.
needing to see
Yeah!
hematologists. And it's Oncology Nurses Day, too. Wait, what? National Pediatric Hematology Oncology Nurses Day. That's what it is. Or, in other words, the longest day name ever in the planet's history. Also, Star Trek Day, as we mentioned on the past podcast. But yes, if you're listening to this on the 9th, perhaps, it is National Wiener Schnitzel Day. And Wiener Schnitzels are kind of like isn't it veal that you smash away, make really thin, and then you fry? Or is it that thing where you get hot dogs at? Their Wiener Schnitzel. No, that's our Americanized version. It's slightly different in Germany. It's also National Teddy Bear Day. So please, give your teddy bear a big hug. If it's a real teddy bear, or maybe it's the loved one in your life that you love, that you call a teddy bear, give them a big hug, will ya? Please? Because we're at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, and I know I need to trim my beard hairs. Oh, the podcast picture yesterday, which featured me and Rocky the cat driving along, Road Cat, it was kind of liked on Instagram.
And here's today's podcast picture.
But I see the podcast picture from yesterday and go, need to trim the beard. It gets away from me rather quickly. And if I don't attack it with the trimmer, and hey, fellow gentlemen or women that grow beards, here's the thing. You can actually get those trimmers that do multiple different numbers. So you can make like your chin hairs longer than your mustache hairs, and you go all crazy and wild and start looking like Tony Stark. Didn't he have that cool goatee in the first one? Yeah. The late great Basil the Boxer. I think he enjoyed my facial hair. You know what? I did have facial hair when I was with him, but in the later years that he was alive, I was clean shaven. So he got to lick my face, and I was like a big lollipop. Because of the bald head, I must have looked like a Tootsie Pop. And I never got to the center without biting. Ask Mr. Owl is what I would say if you knew that commercial. That they played over and over again when I was a kid. The podcast picture today should be of something. How about... It'll be something from Castro Valley. We'll go with that. I've not done too much, not too much traveling these days, just Fremont and Podcastro Valley and Pleasanton. So it'll be one of those. And see it at mikesdailypodcast.com, because I got so many podcast pictures there. And at that website, you can also find all the other places you can listen to this podcast, and tell your friends, and then they'll tell friends if they have friends. If they don't, then they won't.
You silly, great, fat article.
My nose has noticed that people are smoking a lot of the marijuana in the Bay Area, which is no surprise. I mean, they were smoking a lot before I was born in the 60s. Summer of Love and all that. This is sort of ground zero for hippie land. But, yeah, so you smell it everywhere. The BART, particularly, when you're riding mass transit, you smell it. Although on the buses, they can regulate it better. But on BART, you've got all these cars that are not really being monitored. Although BART is supposed to have these really friendly police people that don't make anybody angry in any way, don't trigger anyone. Maybe not the best use of words there, but yes, it's like all about trying to mitigate any kind of situations from getting out of hand on the BART. So you have all these cars that are completely
ginormous,
unmonitored. So people will smoke a lot of cannabis. It is legal, but you will travel into the incredible universe. So the use of cannabis among U.S. adults has hit an all-time high within the past year. More than 2/3 of the states in the United States allow medical or recreational use of cannabis. The milestone could be fueled by several factors: loosened laws around these substances, and more Americans self-medicating for mental health issues.
The Fascinating Material Project.
My lovely lady friend is a therapist. Lots of people with anxiety issues. It's a thing. It's a big thing. Definitely really kicked off in a big way in 2020. But so all of that could be contributing to the fact that Americans love getting high. Here are the cannabis stats you should write down before you forget them. 44% of young adults, a little less than half, between the ages of 19 and 30 years of age. And 28% of adults, a little bit older, between 35 years and 50 years, still younger than me, reported using marijuana in the prior 12 months, a record high for each group. 44%, almost half of young adults, 19 to 30, are smoking marijuana. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth.
Anyway.
And more than 11% of young adults said they used cannabis on at least 20 of the prior 30 days.
Magnification.
Yes. Of the entire month, they are getting high for 2/3 of the month. Am I doing my math correctly? I think I am. No? Slightly over half. Right. That's what I meant to say. Over half of the days of the month, they're getting high. Double that from a decade ago of what people were doing. The number of American workers testing positive for marijuana hit a 25-year record last year. Does that mean 25 years ago there were even more people getting high? I don't think so. But according to Quest Diagnostics...
And now we return you to our regularly scheduled program with Mike Matthews.
I should probably have stock in them. If you have some kind of medical insurance with your company, if you've got insurance with your company, you usually have to go through Quest Diagnostics to make sure that they know that you're someone that they want to spend money on insurance for having, even though you're an employee of theirs. I think that's how it works. But according to Quest Diagnostics, that's probably the best investment idea in marijuana is those tests. Many on Wall Street believe this would lead to serious dollars being made in investments. Nope. Guess what? All the marijuana stocks, Curaleaf, Tilray, Green Thumb, they have been really bad investments. That according to Rob Black. I produce his podcast, The Rob Black Show. He talks about all kinds of money stuff. He's also on a local radio station in the Bay Area, KDOW, and on a local TV station, Kron.
Whoa! Mike's Matthewsman Park.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated at all
Drugs
times.
are bad, Mkai. The Biden administration named the first 10 drugs that are going to be subject to Medicare price negotiation recently. And Best Buy expects consumer electronics demand to improve next year. I wonder why next year. If that has something to do with people getting fed up with buying electronics online and having it delivered broken. I recently bought a musical keyboard. And it turned out when I got to the house, it was horrible. I was like, this is the worst thing I ever bought. Mind you, it was very cheap. But at the same time, I'm like, what? You give me something a little bit better than this. So I returned it. But yeah. So outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth, look who's here. Hello, my goodness, it's Madame Rootabega, and that was already fascinating. Ooh. Yes. Also, I was listening to Mark Ronson. I did not know that he produced the entire album, the Barbie album. And that's all really wonderful news. But I heard an interview with him and about how he wrote a song for Ryan Gosling Jr. I always say Jr. But how I think it's because I'm molding him with Robert Downey Jr. But Ryan Gosling, sang that song about I'm Ken, or it's tough being Ken, or something like that. Mark Ronson wrote that. Of course, Mark Ronson's well known for the Bruno Mars song. The two of them did together Uptown Funk. And he did some amazing work with the late, great Amy Winehouse and Sharon Jones with Dap Kings.
Mike's Out of Left Field recordings.
Recording everything captures actions that will never again be repeated.
Apparently, he's really good with working with people who aren't really known as singers. Like, he will get somebody in the studio who hasn't really sung, is not a well-known singer, and bring out the best in them, that's basically what good music producers do. So he did that and was talking about that. And whenever I say the name of the movie Barbie, I just want to say barbecue and let's go. Let's get us some. Let's have some delicious barbecue. Oh, wait. Have you gone to your local barbecue lately? It has gotten so expensive. Just to get all that amazing stuff, that baked potato that's stuffed full of delicious pulled pork. I'm sorry, I will end it right there. Pulled pork, maybe they put a couple of jalapenos in there and a bunch of sour cream and cheese, of course. But I'll stop right there. Anyway, Café Anyway, what, Madame Rootabega, do you like stuffed potatoes? Yes. Do you like Ryan Gosling? Yes. Do you like Robert Downey Jr.? No. What? Robert Downey Jr.
Magnification.
Hasn't he kind of vindicated himself after all the... I was watching a video about all the times he got arrested. And it had to do with drugs. And the time he was on drugs and fell asleep on the next door neighbor's bed. And yeah, not as crazy as the Flash guy, but the Ezra guy. But yes, the other superhero person. But see, Robert Downey Jr. seemed to get through all of that stuff and then become a superhero. Whereas Ezra, he was doing all this while he was a superhero. Magnification. From what I understand. But yes, Robert Downey Jr. apparently the not the movie with the cool goatee that I was talking about earlier. I think the third movie, he had the director of the movie he did, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. That movie that didn't do too well in the theaters but became a big cult hit. He had the director who made that movie make Iron Man 3, which is really cool how some people help each other out and then those people become successful from that. And I think we need to do more of that, is help each other out where we can. If you're definitely impressed with someone's work and they aren't getting the accolades that they need to get, you definitely help them along. They're a good investment. They're a good investment, and there's really nothing better. I mean, it feels really good to help them. They feel really good because you've helped them. And there just needs to be more of that. I want to be honest with you. I didn't get much of that growing up in the business, in the radio business and show business. I knew people in show business, but nobody really helped me out tremendously. So don't know what that was. The people I knew in show business were pretty self-centered, just focusing on themselves. Didn't really care about, oh, there's Mike. He's funny. Ha, ha, ha. I won't help him.
Woo!
You know, I mean, not anything. They would tell me I was talented. I don't know if they were blowing smoke somewhere to just, you know, say something nice and then leave the room and go back on to being self-centered. I don't know. But Cafe, I don't know. Cafe Anyway, look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, sometimes, though, you gotta speak up and you gotta ask for what you want there.
Yeah, ask for it. Do you know that? Yeah. I don't think I was quiet. I don't think I was, you know, not talking at all. Or saying what, I think I was expressing what I wanted. I wasn't being demanding, because that's annoying too. Yeah, isn't life like full of happy mediums and such? And driving down the road with your cat and having a delicious, what was the day today again? Wow, we got into the end of the podcast. I know it was some kind of a nurse's day. And it was also the, I know, it should just be on the tip of my tongue. But it was teddy bear. That's right. Go hug a teddy bear. All right. Well, now that we've gotten through all that, you can call me and tell me the name of your teddy bear. Is it Fear Not? That's a great name for a teddy bear because it protects you when you're sleeping from the bad nightmares. 510-228-4640 if you'd like to chime in about anything we covered today. And with more ways to reach me, it's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!